Hello guys, today I am going to show my project assignment on Boston housing price prediction through machine learning using Python. It is an assignment for online course offered by Skyfi Labs. The first step is to install the required libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, IPython.display, etc. Data preprocessing. Now, a file named Boston is loaded using this function, and the Boston file description is as shown. Here we can see that the Boston file has 506 instances and 13 attributes. These are the 13 attributes. The next step, here we are creating a data frame using the Boston data and the 13 attributes and naming it as features. This is the features data frame. Here we can see that it has 13 attributes and an index of 0 to 505, a total of 506 instances and 13 attributes. We can also obtain specific attribute using this function. Here in this case, we have selected the CRIM and the attribute values are as shown. Now we are creating another data frame called target to store the target data from the Boston file. The maximum value from this data frame called target is 50. Now we are concatenating both the data frame features and target and naming it as df. This is the df data frame. As you can see, it consists of all the 13 attributes from the features data frame and the target values from the target data frame. In this step, we are using the describe function to get parameters like mean values, standard deviation, minimum value and maximum value. As you can see, all the values are rounded off to two floating points using this function. Data visualization. We are using Pearson function to correlate target and all the 13 features in the data frame and plotting it. This is the plot. As you can see, the LSTAT attribute is highly correlated with target variables in magnitude, whereas the CHAS attribute is very much less correlated than any other attribute. Normalization of data. As you can see, before normalization, the starting 5 values of the target data frame uh, are as shown. We are using the min-max scalar function to normalize the data within a smaller range. After normalization, the 5 values have been bring down to a certain range, as you can see here. Splitting data. In this step, we are going to split the data set and assign 20% of the data set for testing purpose randomly. Mean squared error. We are going to define a error function. In this case, we are using mean square error as shown. This is the formula for mean square error. Similarly, an update function and gradient descent function are also defined using gradient descent. The above gradient descent function is initialized with certain values of 0.90 and the learning rate of 0.001 and error threshold of 0.001, and all these values are used to call the gradient descent function. As you can see in this for loop, once the error value is less than the error threshold which was set by us as 0.001, the statement will be printed as error is less than threshold, stopping gradient descent, and the function stops. Now we have plotted the linear regression curve with here we can see that it is a negative slope linear curve. We have also plotted the error values using errors and on y label and iterations on x label. As you can see, from 0 to 50 the error value has been high, but from 100 to 250 iterations the value is been remaining same, that is bare minimum, and is almost parallel to x axis. Visualization of model. In this step we are using animation functions and HTML functions for creating an animation for the linear curve above, and also using the same functions for creating the error model. Here the mean squared error is calculated using the testing data. This is the mean square error value of the testing data which we have used. We have used the test data for predicting the values and creating a data frame to store them. These are the values which were predicted by our model. This is my assignment, and thank you for watching.